Hey guys, welcome back to Ember Resilience Co. On today's episode, I'm going to be answering common questions that people wonder and ask about my pot story and just my journey in general. Some of these questions are going to get deep and real, so I would sit back and enjoy this episode fully. First question is going to be
What inspired this episode?
I think the reasoning behind this episode, why I wanted to make it, is so that if even just one person can relate, it it makes me feel like my job is done. Um my goal for this is to help other people because I was once them.
When did you first realize something was off in your body?
I was around 11 years old and I noticed that my heart would go really really fast, and at the time I didn't know what tachycardia was. So I just went up to my mom and would just tell her that my heart was going fast, and she would take me to the hospital and they would be like, "Oh, it's this, it's that." And then it got to the point where they didn't know what to do, so they sent me to children's. And it was my first symptom of POTS, I guess you could say, was tachycardia at 11.
What was the hardest part of not having answers?
The waiting was the hardest because I'm impatient as hell, so there's that. And yeah, just waiting for somebody to figure out what's wrong with you is it's hard because you want to know so that way you can better yourself, better your health, better everything just to make yourself feel better. So the hardest part for me would be waiting.
How did your life change after being diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome?
Um a lot of things changed. I lost friends, family, jobs, all that fun stuff. Um I I crave a normal life. I'll just say that.
What helped you begin healing mentally and emotionally?
I think realizing that it's not just gonna get better. I'm not gonna wake up one day and I'm just gonna feel better. It's never gonna be like that. The only way I'm gonna get better or be better is myself and surrounding myself with people that are gonna make me feel better in the end and get my head out of the negative mindset I was once in into a positive one. And a lot of it was therapy. I went like a year and a half, 2 years of 2 times a week, weekly, like therapy. So therapy was a huge, huge thing for me.
What parts of your journey do people not see behind the scenes?
Gosh, that's a hard one. There's a lot. I think just daily struggles that you have to face with just having chronic illness in general, especially something like POTS. You're always wondering like what's gonna happen to you, or like if you go out, pass out, what are people gonna react like? So I think it's just a constant worry almost.
What helped you begin healing mentally and emotionally?
Probably keeping positive in negative times, and the people around me kept me going, kept me busy, made sure I was doing things that I was like passionate or I found joy in doing. Um, because at one point I didn't really see like a point in doing those things, so it was nice having that support.
What's something you're actively healing from?
Probably the reasoning behind my POTS. That would be something I would heal from for the rest of my life. It's not just gonna go away overnight, but I'm just glad that I'm done the steps and I'm still doing the steps to make that healing process like a lot easier for myself.
What did those steps look like?
Slowing down, taking time for myself, and actually like knowing what I need. Like if I know my body needs something, then I need to do it. Or like if I'm pushing myself too hard, then I'll do it.
Who were you before all of this?
Menace to society, but no, I don't even know who I was before. I think I was just trying to be someone just to kind of fit in or whatever, like wherever it just kind of landed or whatnot. But now I'm totally different than what I once was, and I'm actually pretty happy about that.
If you could talk to your younger self, what would you say?
That it does get better and to not give up because I know at times I thought about just like giving up because I was over it all. So there's definitely things that popped in my head like that. But yeah, just the mindset of it all.
How has illness changed friendships or relationships?
I've lost a lot of people who I thought were gonna be in my life for a very long period of time. And yeah, it may suck in the moment, but at the same time, I'm really grateful that it happened now, not when I'm like 50, 60 years old and having my midlife crisis or whatnot and doing whatever. And like, then I'm finding out who's real and who's not. It's nice that I figured it out now at a young age.
What does real support look like?
I think it's people not even really fully understanding, but just trying to show some type of understanding towards what you're going through. They don't really have to understand it because no one's ever gonna understand what you've gone through. That's your journey and your like story or whatnot. But them having like some type of perspective of being like, oh, they're going through this, I need to be there for them is huge for someone like that.
What's always something you carry in an emergency bag?
Normally, what I throw in my girlfriend's purse is my medication, which consists of beta blockers and other meds, and then usually a snack or two, like some peanuts or salted peanuts, and goldfish. Love me some goldfish. Usually have a pop or something. Love me a Coca Cola once in a while, you know? And then sometimes if I'm feeling pretty low, I'll put a salt tab or something in there with my medication or whatnot.
What's the most random thing that triggers your symptoms?
There's a bunch of random things that I didn't even know really triggered my symptoms. VRs, the the change of temperature when it's rapidly changed, like a hot tub or like a cold plunge. Um, Going down a hill, which sounds so random, but just like the change from going up to down. And that being said, like roller coasters and shit like that too.
What's one healthy person thing that you miss?
Working, I loved working. I miss it a lot, but at the same time, me not working gave me a lot of realizations I wouldn't have had if I was still working a regular like 9 to 5 job. So it's nice. It sucks, but the silver lining of it all is it's a positive thing of like I can take time now and focus on like the moments and what's happening now.
For people that don't know about POTS, why can't you work physically?
I think it's well, one, it's not my choice. Let's just say that first. It's not that I don't want to work. Medically, I'm not allowed, just because I could be a liability to people like that. Just because of the symptoms of POTS of like passing out, I don't need to be in a situation of hurting myself or potentially somebody else.
What keeps you going on hard days?
Honestly, I would say, like I said, the people around me, but also my dog, Penny, because she's still like in the puppy phase. She's like a year and a half, Jen. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, she's always keeping me on my toes and like always keeping my mind off of like what's actually happening in my body, so it's nice.
What does living fully look like to you now?
I think I thought living fully was seeing how much money I had in my bank account like the day I died, and that's how I made it or whatnot, or what like house I had or car. But I think like my fulfillment for life would be creating memories with people that I love, and also doing things that like money can't buy.
What advice would you give someone newly diagnosed with POTS?
Mm, I mean, there's a bunch of things I could say, but I think the main one is to speak up. Like, if you feel off, and let's say it's like you feel off in your body and you want like a test done or something, and the doctor's like, oh no, you don't need that test done. Well, obviously look into it, but at the same time, if that is a test that you need done to get the diagnosis like that you think you have, then push for it, because if I didn't push for it or if people didn't push for it for me, then I wouldn't have never gotten this diagnosis of POTS. I still would have been waiting.
If there's someone out there listening and they think they might have POTS, what did you go through to get diagnosed?
I think the process that I remember going through of getting my diagnosis was like my symptoms in between, misdiagnosis like millions of times, bunch of things. And then finally, I switched my doctor because my doctor at the time was not doing the things that I needed done to benefit me and my health journey and like figure out what was actually seriously wrong with me. So I switched doctors, and after that, I got the tilt table test. I started off with to just to get my diagnosis in 2026. So 11 years later. And then after that, I went for I've been in and out of the hospital for like IV saline solutions and just little things like that just to keep myself up. I've done IV iron infusions to get my ferritin up from 8. I've gone for eye appointments because of my POTS this like since January. I think there was one other thing I did. Oh, I did a sleep test to see if I had like a sleep paralysis just to see there's a bunch of things with POTS. Like POTS is the way my doctor said it. POTS is an umbrella, and there's a bunch of things that fall under that umbrella for POTS. So yeah,
What's something you're still trying to figure out?
the balance of just a day to day life, because still to this day, some days are way better than others, and I still feel defeated and get hella frustrated with it all. But it's just a battle of a balance because I just want a even keel, like just balance.
What does a bad POTS flare up day look like for you?
I usually wake up and I can feel it, but I don't know when it's like something's gonna happen. I just kind of feel it, almost like an anxiety of like why not why I know why my body feels like this now, but um, what can I do to make it go away type thing. And then usually I will do something to overdo myself, and then I'll come running in my room and be like, babe, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna pass out, start yelling, like, I'm gonna pass out. And then thankfully, I just like Superman jump onto my bed. It's big enough where I just land on it half the time. Um, and then I pass out. I usually say I'm sorry because I feel bad after passing out. And I wake up kind of sometimes confused, whatnot, but yeah.
Do you usually catch yourself before you fall, or do you sometimes fall on the floor?
I usually catch myself. I think I've only fallen on the floor maybe a total of 3 or 4 times in my whole journey of it all.
Did you notice cancer and POTS affecting each other?
No, I didn't notice really my cancer was affecting my POTS and vice versa. It was more the medication for both that I was on was making my body feel like absolute shit. Like it was dog water. Like yeah, not good at all. So no, it wasn't like those two clashing. It was more my medication. I was on so many different medications at the time, and it was shit. Yeah.
What were your major symptoms when you had your cancer and your POTS together? Like, what did your body go through?
Well, my cancer journey, I thought I was just getting sick with a cold, and I went in after a while because I got more serious. And then I got January of 2025. Yeah, 2025. They kind of were telling me then that they think it's this. So I was getting sent to different things, and it was more of a because of where it was. I'm not going to go into detail about it all, but where it was causing more pain and irritation than anything else. I didn't really notice it. It was just more irritated. Where my POTS is a, a daily battle that like it it almost feels. I know this may sound fucked up, but my POTS to me, out of both, my POTS has been more damaging to me than my cancer, because I caught my cancer early enough, thankfully.
What's one small win that you've had recently?
I think just all this happening without any of the shit that's happened to me in the past umpteen fucking years, however old I am, 22. Yeah, 22 years. I could say the way everything has turned out now is my biggest win, and what's happening now is the win.
Did you expect yourself to ever be making a podcast?
No, to be honest with you, I used to get nervous with photos. My mom would say, "Smile," and I'd be like, "No, mom, no, no, I ain't doing photos. Love you, but I ain't doing photos."
What's a reminder for people that they might need to hear today?
You're never alone, even though you may feel alone, and to speak up because you know yourself better than anyone else. Like a doctor can tell you like this and that, but you know your body better than anyone else. And if I didn't speak up and advocate for myself and like basically say fuck you to whoever was telling me wrong how I felt, I would have never gotten the diagnosis. Never. I still would have been waiting and hoping like maybe one day they'll figure out what's wrong with me. So thank you for watching this episode, guys. It truly means a lot. All the support I've gotten recently, it means more than you guys even know. I'm really excited for what's to come, like throughout this whole journey, but especially this week. I'm very, very excited. And this episode that usually comes out Sundays might be out latest Tuesday morning. That's the latest because what's coming up. So thank you and stay tuned for what's coming.